Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. My name is Ash, aka I'm Ghostbuster, and I am here with our December review roundup. Now, in this review roundup, I'm going to be covering a handful of games that I've been playing recently. This time, it's purely indie game focused. It's December, it's the season of goodwill, it's that festive feeling time. Christmas is quickly approaching, and we're all going to have some time off work, hopefully, over the festive season. Fingers crossed. Apologies if you don't and you work in retail or something like that. My heart goes out to you. But for the majority of us, we're going to be off work and want to play some video games. So make sure you check out all the links in the description below, linking to all of these great games. They're on a variety of different platforms. You can get some on Xbox, Switch, PC, stuff like that. Give them a look. Give them a play over the Christmas period. Now, what you're seeing on screen right now is Garden of Seif, Chronicles of an Assassin. This is a visual novel game by dev and publisher Foxdrift Studios, and it came out in October. And you basically play as a female assassin going on this adventure. Now, I'd previously covered a sort of prequel-y tie-in game to this on the channel. You can go back and find that. But this is the sort of full game release. It looks great. It's a very, very detailed visual novel with sort of dating sim mechanics thrown in for good measure. There is a free demo, so hey, don't even listen to me. Go and check out the demo on Steam. Follow that link down in the description below. And then you can also buy the game for £16.75 if you're interested. It is verified for Steam Deck, which is great. I've been playing my Steam Deck. Expect a full review of the Steam Deck at some point during December, but I love games that work on it, and this one works perfectly. Now, this is a nice big chunky visual novel, over 100k words. There's multiple love interests, there's sort of cinematic scenes thrown in, and it's really, really cool. I don't like going into visual novels. I always find them difficult to properly review without sort of spoiling the story. So what I will say is check it out, play the demo, and you'll know from that if you're interested. But the artwork, I can say, looks great. There's custom characters, nice detailed backgrounds. The soundtrack's great. It really fits the scene and the atmosphere and stuff like that. Only complaint, there's no voice acting. A lot of visual novels don't have voice acting in them, so it's not the end of the world. But that's the only sort of negative I can say. The writing's pretty decent, and there's a lot to play through here. You're going to get a good handful of hours out of this game. So if you're into visual novels, this one is well worth your time. Okay, next up, it's a game I did a first impressions of on the channel. Really enjoyed it. Played it on Steam. Again, through my Steam Deck, it's fully verified and compatible. But I'm going to give it a shout out now because its first bit of DLC content is coming in just over a week's time. So this is Fae Farm, and this is basically one of those gorgeous little cozy life sim games. Imagine Animal Crossing, Harvest Moon, but with sort of dungeon exploration and stuff like that thrown in for good mix. Magic, enemies, all that sort of goodness. Now, I really enjoyed this game at launch, but the Coast of Croakia DLC is launching on the 14th of December. Now, this is included in the deluxe edition of the game. I believe you'll also be able to buy it separately as well. Looks really cool, new enemies, new sort of experiences and quests to go on and stuff like that, new environments to explore. The game is also available on Steam. It looks like it's one of those fantastic games to play. Now, one thing I like about this game is it has online co-op, and that's what really sets it apart for me. You can play this with up to 3 other people, all of you in the same world at the same time, playing around. It looks great. It sounds great. It's a little rough around the edges, at least it was at launch. But I'm looking forward over my Christmas break to really jump back into this and play it even more. Because like I say, with more content, I'm all up for it. So Fae Farm is one of those games for lovers of like chill, cozy sim games, but where they want a little bit of that sort of RPG-esque magic sprinkled in as well. So not only can you farm, but you can do some dungeons and stuff like that. Really, really cool. Highly recommend it. Like I say, it's available on Steam, priced at $29.99 for the standard edition or $49.99 for the deluxe edition. The deluxe edition includes the soundtrack and 2 extra DLCs. I assume the DLCs will also be available separately. And it's also available on the Nintendo Switch as well. Okay, next up is Sunshine Manor. Now, this game was developed by Fossil Games, published by Hound Picked Games, and it came out in October. Now, this is a prequel game to a game that I've never honestly played called Camp Sunshine. And this game, though, you can play it without ever playing the original game. It's basically a 8-bit old school 2D horror game which features RPG elements, combat, and platforming sections. Now, the plot is you play as this girl called Ada, and you're dared to spend the night in this haunted Sunshine Manor, and obviously, as it's haunted, there's ghosts, demons, and everything like that you'll have to face off against. Now, this game, looking compared to the original, has a lot less focus on the horror, and there's more sort of platforming and exploration aspects to the game. Graphically, though, it looks absolutely fantastic. They've put so much effort into this game. It looks gorgeous. Like, this is something I would love to have played on a SNES back in the day. Like, it's bright, it's colourful, it's big chunky sprites, nice animations, awesome dungeons to explore, a variety of different bosses which look ace to play. Like, they just look fantastic. It feels great, and it's really awesome. Now, it's not perfect. The walking speed is a little slow, and it will get a little frustrating. But honestly, this is like playing a good old classic retro game, but on like modern systems. Now, I played this on Xbox. It's priced at £6.49, and it's playable on Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S consoles, but it's also available on like Steam, PlayStation, and Nintendo Switch. Now, this is a really cool game. It's definitely one for those people that love those old school games with a nice 80s inspired soundtrack. Really good. I love these types of games. Please give me more of them. Absolutely fantastic. Check this one out. Does everything for like ticking my boxes. All I wish was she ran a little bit quicker and there was just more of it. 100%. Okay, next up is Warstone Tower Defense Gold Edition, or Warstone TD Gold Edition. Now, I played this on the Epic Game Store. It came out a couple of months ago from developer Battlecruiser Games and publisher DX Gameworks LLC, who were kind of sent me a copy. This is obviously a tower defense game, but with a little bit of a twist. So it combines your sort of classic tower defense game with RPG elements, as well as city building, and then there's a little tweak to how the sort of tower defense formula works here. Now, this game originally came out just as Warstone TD a while back. This is the Gold Edition, so the Gold Edition includes basically the complete experience. It includes the expansion, which has new battles and challenging enemies and harder modes added as well. So this is like the complete edition of the game. You can still pick up the original version without, like I say, the editions and stuff like that on Steam. But this Gold Edition has been released on Epic as well as consoles like PlayStation and Xbox. However, the reviews aren't particularly favourable on Xbox. When I've had a look, it does say that it's not a very good port and the UI isn't particularly great. But on PC, I had no problems with this one. It was quite fun. I enjoyed it. What I do like is, like, you can't just build your towers anywhere. So you'll start off with very little tower spots, literally maybe 1 or 2 places where you can place your towers. Now, these aren't like tower buildings as such. They're like actual, like, soldiers or heroes and stuff like that. So it's not like you're building buildings. You're more building, like, places for people to stand. Now, as you're playing through the level, more stones where you can place your defenders will appear, and you slowly but surely build it up, which I thought was a nice little twist. It's not like a huge revelation in the world of tower defense games, but it was nifty and it was something a little bit different, which I liked. Now, graphically, it has like a 3D art style with nice chunky graphics, a little bit of like cartooniness to the sort of shades and everything. Looks great. I thought it was fantastic in that sense. They've done a very good job with it. There's a lot of content in this game as well. So obviously, it being a like complete edition with the extra content, there's even more available. So there's tons of modes, tons of stuff to play through, and it's at a great price as well. So on Epic Store, it's £10.29. So for the complete sort of package, you can't go wrong. And like I say, you build up your village, you train up your armies and stuff like that as well. And then you've got the standard levels with the tower defense mechanics in it. Honestly, I'm really impressed with this one. I'm a bit sad that apparently the Xbox port isn't that great, because I actually want to pick this up on Xbox as well, because I've enjoyed playing it on Epic. But check it out either way. You can pick it up with the link in the description below. And like I say, if you've want to just try the core game, and for some reason you don't want the DLC included, you can pick that up on Steam as well. But looking at it, it's more expensive to buy it without the DLC in the standard edition on Steam than it is to get it with the complete gold edition, basically. So think of that what you will. But the core game itself has a ton of content in it, a variety of different units. I think there was over 20 units available, which you can upgrade and everything like that. Lots of hand-drawn artwork for your stories that play out as you're playing through the game. You have 3 different classes that you can choose from. You can play as a warlord, a sorcerer, treasurer, and there's 70 different skills there to sort of mix up like how they play. In terms of game modes, like I was saying, there's like the classic mode, there's a challenge, survival, hero defense, all sorts of stuff. You can also play it in co-op, but I only played it solo, so I can't comment on how good the co-op is. But yeah, really, really cool. Like, I love that you have like the class-based systems and stuff like that for your characters when you're playing them on the field. Like having the soldiers come out and they're ones that you're basically improving and building on, instead of it just being a generic like tower or like ballista or something like that. It's really cool. And then when you're adding all of the extra content of the expansion, you're getting tons and tons of content here for a pretty decent tower defense game. Okay, and the last game for this review roundup is PocketCiv. Now, this is an early access game on Steam, so that means obviously it's still in development, but you can jump in and play it right now. Now, it's developed and published by Baby Marsupial Creations. It hit early access in January, and you can buy it for £8.50. Now, this is a single player, basically a bite-sized turn-based strategy game, so it's like Civ Lite. Now, what you do in it, you basically play against a deck of event cards as such. You're not playing against enemies, you're not playing against other factions. You basically play through these turns, and it'll be sort of randomized what happens, but it's all about trying to expand your civilization and not failing miserably, like happens all the time. Now, quality-wise, the game looks really nice. It's basically a digital version of the popular print and play game that a lot of people love to play tabletop-wise. I'd honestly never played it before. Like, when I think of Civ, I think of, like, Civilization, like the classic series. So it took me by surprise a little bit, and I was a bit, like, thrown off guard when I first started playing. But once you get into it and you get used to it, there is a lot here. So the game mode you play, the standard game mode, this has, like, randomly generated starting conditions. So every game's going to play a little bit different, which is really cool. There's 15 different scenarios with unique rules and conditions to play through. There's 17 destructive event types to survive. So when I'm saying like it's like when you play those card games where you play as a team and you play against the deck. I played the Lord of the Rings one, and there's like the Marvel one, I think the Resident Evil one, and basically every time you draw a new card, something different happens. That's basically how this plays across a variety of different eras of your civilization. Now, the game also features 50 upgrades as well that you can, like, unlock. There's 10 wonders as well to work through, and there's also a very, very useful and in-depth tutorial. So I definitely recommend checking out the tutorial. So the game is basically played across different eras, which are separated by a variety of different turns. It's really difficult to sort of explain how this game plays. So basically, you have to sort of move your pieces around this game board, slowly but surely expanding, surviving, overcoming, and the aim of the game is obviously to get through all 8 eras. So basically beat the deck multiple times, basically. Now, it's really cool. It won't be for everyone. I feel like this could be a pretty Marmite game. But honestly, if you're into your sort of 4X games, you're probably going to really love this. So for a cheap game, which I feels like it's going to get a lot of updates in the future. The dev seems to be like really interested in upgrading the game and improving it and stuff like that. It obviously doesn't work great on a Steam Deck because it's the UI. It's built for a keyboard and mouse, so I recommend playing it on PC over trying to play it on a Steam Deck. It's cool. It may fry your brain a bit. It did me when I started it, but hey, with a bit by bit, you can work your way up and eventually really get into it and really enjoy it. So anyway, guys, that's the sort of games I've been playing, all focused on indie. Like I say, they're all available on pretty much every system. So I've played most of these on PC, I've played some on Xbox, but they're all available on, well, not all of them, but there's a good chunk of them available on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation as well. So check them out. Leave a comment down below. Let me know which of these indie games you'd be interested in playing, which of them sort of tickles your fancy, which is the one for you. And also, let me know in the comments, are there any other indie games I should check out over the Christmas period? Because like I say, I've already got a list of games I want to play through that I've been waiting to play, so I'm saving them for when I've got like 3 weeks off work over Christmas. But I'm always looking for more. We're also slowly but surely clawing our way towards 1,500 subscribers. So if you would help us out, hit that subscribe button, share it with your nan, let her subscribe as well. And also check the links out in the description below for all of the games here. Even if you don't want to pick them up just yet, save them on your wish list. You never know when you'll want to pick them up. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon for more gaming content. Bye for now.